Hello. Hello. Ah, there we are. Thank you. Sorry. It should be fixed now. If it's not, let me know. Anyway, what I was saying is Maximus Titan fan, Titans Global Podcast. What's going on? Sorry about all the crap, technical difficulties. Apologize about that. Thank you guys for sticking around with me. If you're with me tonight, I need you in the comments because I don't have Link with me tonight. So we're talking about Titans versus Colts. It's on CBS 12 or 1 o'clock, depending on where you are in Tennessee. If this is the first time you're watching the show, if you're joining us again, we thank you. Jump on YouTube. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe. That'd be great. There's a reason this game is so important. AFC South is still pretty open. The Colts are sitting at 2-3. Jags are tied with the Titans at 1-4, except Jaguars beat the Colts last week, so they have a divisional win. But the important part here is if we beat the Colts this week, if we win, that puts us second in the AFC South. I don't know. I mean, there'd be some tiebreaker between us and the Jaguars, but I'm pretty sure we would be second in the AFC South. If we lose, however, we are stuck dead at the bottom, and that is no bueno. We can't have that. So we really, really need to win this game. It is extremely important. I cannot stress enough how important this game is for the Titans to get back on track, to salvage some kind of season out of this. If we want to get to the postseason, we have to win this week, period. If we don't win this week, then postseason is pretty much off. And at that point, I understand why everybody says, start Levis, see what he's got, because, season's not a wash, but I mean, unless you're getting into the postseason, then yeah, your season's pretty much a wash. So anyway, try to move on to more positive stuff. Playoffs. We were just talking about that, but they're reachable with a subpar team because, I mean, our division isn't doing well. The whole AFC isn't doing well. There's a couple teams that really stand out, but as a whole, the AFC isn't doing well. So still can squeeze in there if we play our cards right. Big question is which quarterback's going to start? And I'm not trying to start any stupid controversies or anything like that. Yeah, I know, right? I'm just saying, basically, the signing of Trevor Siemian immediately makes me think maybe they're a little leery that Levis can start or play the game. Because obviously, if he can't start, he can't play the game. That's just how you do it. And if I'm being honest, I mean, yeah, I agree. I would like to see Levis in this game, but same time, if he's hurt, even in a little bit, just a smidge hurt, I don't want Levis in the game. And it's just because of his decision-making skills. I don't think he does well under pressure. Especially not this season. He hasn't shown me that he can handle the pressure. So I really want him to have the easiest road he can possibly have. And in this instance, it would be, not to start. I hate to be that way, but that is the truth. If you want my opinion, I feel like if he's even slightly injured or has any kind of hesitation in the coach's mind, then no, you should not start the game. Mason, if he does start the game, does he have enough time to actually make some kind of a connection with these receivers and start a quarterback controversy? I don't know, man. Like I said, if we don't win this game, and unless Mason goes out there, if they hold Levis back, Mason goes out there and throws for like 375 yards or 390 yards and 3 touchdowns. Okay, maybe we're having a conversation at that point. But still, I don't know if it's that much of a conversation. The Colts defense is depleted and, well, kind of terrible right now. So it's another reason why I feel this game is huge. It could be a potential win. Also, another reason I feel like this game would be huge is, I'll be there. It's my first game, live action this season. So I'm really excited about it. And it's all thanks to my dude, Scoob. Shout out, Scoob. Thanks, bro. So anyway, can we run is a big question. And that's going to be one of the main focuses, I think, of the offense. Running the ball. Well, I kind of have to agree with you here. Although I don't know if you watched the last game, especially when Mason was in there, it looked like the offensive line was doing better, but it wasn't because the offensive line was doing better. It's because Mason Kinsey doesn't drop really deep into the backfield like Levis does. He doesn't drift in the pocket or run into sacks. He knows when to step up. He feels the heat. He just has a better pocket presence than Levis. That's actually one of Levis's Achilles heel, is he does not have a pocket presence whatsoever. Something he really needs to work on. But I think the game is going to be mostly about running the ball, or that's what they're going to try to do anyway. It doesn't matter which quarterback is in there. I feel like they're going to immediately try to establish the run and use that to their advantage on calling plays such as the play action. Then also draw plays. I think on first down, this is one that you can hit deep. I feel like this is a team that you can throw deep on because their secondary isn't, again, depleted. Not very good right now. Their whole defense isn't very good right now. So I don't see any reason why you don't kind of cut loose a little bit. As long as everything's going well. Levis gets in there and starts doing Levis stuff. Obviously, you want to reel that in. But, and I'm not trying to be negative towards Will Levis. I just, right now, the NFL is all about what have you done for me lately and consistency. I talk about that probably more than anything on my show, and that's because football is consistency. That's what somebody questioned Jeffrey Simmons and his commitment to the game. And exactly, he's got the experience. That's exactly what I meant. But Jeffrey Simmons got the experience in the game, and somebody was questioning, that he wasn't playing very well. And he hasn't played very well this season, but he has been also dealing with this elbow injury since the beginning of the season. He even had it, I think, the last week of the preseason is when it started rearing up. But he's had this injury the whole season. He's played every game except last week. And it's not that he's had stellar play, but if you watch the tape, he's still mauling people out there with one arm, shoving people around. One arm because the other arm is the one with the elbow hurt. So, and they were kind of questioning whether Jeffrey Simmons was even as good as people say he is. And I was like, man, you can't. Jeffrey Simmons has consistently been one of the best players on the team. And that consistency matters to me. So if you're doing it consistently, that's the point, and that's what we want to see out of Will Levis. Consistency at the quarterback position, even if it's not that amazing deep throwing passes every pass. We don't have to have that. I don't have to have that. All I have to have is first downs. Move the ball down the field, get within scoring distance. That's really all I'm looking for. But I digress. Getting off on a tangent. But I do expect Spears, Pollard to get a heavy load, both in the passing and the receiving game. I feel like Pollard might get a little bit more on the receiving game this time than he has in the past. They kind of use Tajay. I don't know. They've been mixing it up really well. I have to give him credit on that. He after the first game when there was a huge divide between the carries. After that, he pretty much said, I'm going to try to do a better job of having those guys balanced and having a balanced offense. And so far, he has. I mean, it's really good as far as the touches go. Pollard does have better numbers because he's done a little better, which honestly was a pleasant surprise for me. Yeah, we got to have. I mean, we got to have something, man. But offensive line. I don't really want to talk about it if I'm being honest. Mike. Yeah, you alluded to it earlier, man. But yeah, the offensive line is not great. But they, like I said, once Mason came in, started kind of getting the ball out a little faster, staying in the pocket, climbing the pocket when he needed to. It started to look a little better. And I'm wondering if they can't build on that momentum a little bit. Plus, we signed up Leroy Watson up from the practice squad. I don't know if he's the answer, but at this point, got to do something different, man. There has got to be something better than NPF because I think he's in his own head. That's why he's playing so bad. Either that or I don't know, man. I don't really know because he played well his first and most of the second season until he got hurt. I guess his injury kind of kept him out of it, but still, it doesn't make sense to me. But point is, if you're not producing, you shouldn't be playing, and it looks like that's the way they feel too. So I'm interested to see if he can have any kind of a boost to the right tackle position, or if the offensive line as a whole can kind of come together a little bit more and build off what they were doing in the last game with the protection. And I love the run scheme, man. The run scheme of this front office is fantastic. We haven't had run plays like this since Matt LaFleur was our head coach, our offensive coordinator. But anyway, again, tangent, but I do love the way they pull the guards and stuff. They do some really poetic stuff with the offensive line in the way they use the left side. Anyway, if nothing else, Leroy Watson can provide just a little bit of a push to Nicholas Petit-Ferrer. If nothing else, just to push him and say, hey, man, step up, do something. You got to do something different because right now this is not working out for anybody, period. So we get a game going in the past game. Defense just, I mean, that is, why you have to keep mixing it up. You can't just run, on a consistent basis like, let's say, our previous offensive coordinator. You can't do that. If you're running on first down every single time, that's incorrect. But if you use the same formations for most of the first downs and you run sometimes and you pass them, that's, play action options. I love when they use the split back or the dual back sets. I also like the 3 tight end sets that they use. I think it's very creative how they pulled Chig into the backfield as a halfback. So I honestly, and this goes right into what I'm saying here, Logan. I honestly feel like our coaching staff is adapting well to the talent that we have. I'm interested to see how they progress the players. That's my biggest thing. I want to see development in young players. That's something I haven't seen in Tennessee. Well, kind of period. We've been able to develop defensive players, but we just don't develop offensive players at all. Either we get them from the open market or we just get lucky every now and then on a draft pick, but they're usually linemen when we get lucky. So, I mean, A.J. Brown, if you ask me, was just a fluke. I mean, obviously he was a freak of nature and that kind of stuff, but I think honestly it was just it was like shooting fish in a barrel. You know, when he was there, you couldn't not take him. So John Robinson for that pick gets me no credit, and he takes all the blame for him because kind of the reason why he's not here. And honestly, if he was, I don't think we'd even be in this slump right now. So interesting thing to think about. I do need you to stick around if you're enjoying the show. I got a little 40-second ad that I have to do for my sponsorship. We gotta keep the lights on somehow, but stick around. We got much more to talk about. What's up, Titans fans? Maximus Titan fan here. Are you in need of professional excavation services? Look no further. Red Zone Builders has the expertise, experience, and equipment to handle all or any excavation project, big or small. Whether you need land clearing, site preparation, trenching, foundation excavation, or any other excavation services, they have you covered. Their team of skilled professionals work diligently to ensure your project is completed safely, efficiently, and to your satisfaction. Trust the experts at Red Zone Builders to get the job done right. All right, so Newsom had to come in and say, dude, you're right. I don't doubt that. I don't understand why he's playing so bad, though. I guess, like I said, the injury, but it just doesn't make any sense to me. I loved A.J. Brown. I wasn't a huge fan of Julio Jones while he was on the Titans. He just was he was done at that point. And the best pairing A.J. Brown had, I think, was Corey Davis. So, but anyway, moving on. I don't like talking about A.J. Brown because that's in the past and it just stirs up bad emotions. Defensively, can the Titans generate pressure from the D-line? Now, I'm not talking about blitzing and combo packages. I'm talking about producing a pressure on the quarterback with 4 guys. Can you do that? Yeah, I know, man. I know. It hurts everybody when they see Henry. But, you know, he gone. It sucks. I love the King, man. Don't get me wrong, man. My wife gives me all kinds of grief every single time I show her a stat of him doing well. She's like, I told you y'all should have never got rid of him. And I don't disagree. I mean, but I also, I feel like he wouldn't have fit very well in Callahan's plan because it's not really about the run game. I mean, it is. It's about mixing it up because you can't just pass the ball, but it's not about that, 25, 30 running back carries every game. It's just not the same. And he uses his running backs differently. I like how he does that. He pulls his running backs a lot, which I like that. Running backs now, Pollard does well in protection, but Tajay could use just a smidge more work in the quarterback protection part of it. But he's doing great for a young guy. I love Tajay Spears, one of my favorite new Titans. Everybody knows that. Will Simmons play? I don't know. I hope so. He's been a full participant the last couple of days, so I really hope he can play. But elbow injury, and even if he can play, like I talked about in the last pregame show, if he plays, that just aggravates the injury, which could make it worse and take longer to heal, and then he would still be not his best self for longer. So I don't know. That's a really, really thin line to ride to whether to keep Simmons on the bench or not because of his own health. And I don't know, man. The way that Sebastian Joseph Day and Sweat played last week, I'm not hugely worried if Simmons doesn't play. And it's not because I think Simmons is taking plays off or anything like that. I'm just saying, like I just said, I would rather him sit and wait until he is not fully healthy, but healthy enough to contribute on a level that is, his upper quadrant, or whatever you want to call his elite status. If he can contribute on that kind of level, then I want him in the game. If he can't, then he should be chilling and rehabbing, get better. I know, right? I really was surprised that Simmons didn't start the last game. It's just shocking to me. And yes, you are not 100% correct, but not 100% incorrect either. Anyway, can the secondary of the Titans keep these receivers to low yardage like they have been the last couple games? Wilson, I think, was quoted. Was it today? I think it was today. Said that Snead he believes is the best cornerback in the NFL. And it's a privilege to coach a guy like that because he goes hard every single play, whether it's, what's up, Titan Rossi, man? What's going on? But he takes every single play in practice just as hard as he does in a game rep. And that's really important. I mean, everybody talks about you play like you practice. You know what I'm talking about, Logan. We used to talk about that on practice days. You play like you practice. And, yeah, he wasn't the same for us, but that's because people knew what we were doing and we didn't have any other game like the Baltimore has. I mean, if we had a Lamar Jackson or even a wide receiver that was, could stretch the field and actually catch the ball last season, besides, DeAndre did a great job. Don't get me wrong, but his speed is not there. He is a amazing possession receiver. So not taking anything away from D-Hop, just saying that he is not the speedster he used to be. So anyway, the point is, they said Snead was the best corner in the league. I don't know if I 100% agree that he's the best in the league. I think he thinks he's the best in the league, and that's a good thing. Cornerbacks, just like quarterbacks, have to have a chip on their shoulder to play, especially to have that short memory that people talk about all the time. When you get thrown on, just throw it out of your head, get ready for the next rep. It's really easy to say. It's really hard to do, especially when you're an emotional player and a highly competitive person. I can tell you that from personal experience. Although I do feel like Snead is probably top 5 cornerbacks in the NFL. I don't think he's the best. I don't know. I would probably say Johnson from the Bears is the best. I don't know. But anyway, point is, I love it, and I hope that Brownlee plays like he did last week. That is, for me, that's a really huge thing. I need to see Brownlee do that on a consistent basis so that I can be comfortable with him starting, because it looks like he's going to be starting for the next 3 games at least, maybe more than that. So, or at least 2 games. I'll say that he's starting the next 2 games for sure. Probably the next 3 games. Titans are the only team that hasn't allowed. Yes, that is true. I am at. I keep putting up these individual stats, man, that the Titans are doing, and people are like, "Come on, man, enough with the individual. What's the score or what's our record?" And I'm like, "Man, y'all stop being a buzzkill, man. If you can't talk about how great your team is playing as a whole, at least you can celebrate the little things that each individual player is doing." Now, is that a good idea for the team to do that? No. But as a fan or podcast, whatever I am, no. That's not great, man. To be a fan. That honestly, that's one of my favorite things, and that's why I used to do I tried to do live shows while I watched the game. Horrible idea. I could not watch the game like I wanted to because I kept, trying to talk about things that was happening in the game, and I was constantly talking about things that had already happened while I'm trying to watch what. And yeah, there was some great reaction shots, but other than that, it was really not fun for me because I couldn't be a fan, and that's what I am. I'm a fan. I'm a Titans fan first. I'm the podcast, social media guy second. Really, I only started this because my wife didn't want me talking football to her all the freaking time. Only thing she didn't know is it made me worse. All I do now is talk about football and my podcast. So thank you, love. Love you, baby. All right, so let's talk about some of the injury report for the Titans. Honestly, everybody looks like they're good to go except maybe Levis and Jamal Adams isn't playing. Keandre Colburn isn't playing. As far as the Colts go, Josh Downs, Michael Pittman, Jonathan Taylor, Kenny Moore are all out. Not out. They haven't participated at all in practice, so I expect them to be out, especially if none of them participate tomorrow. Quiddy Payne was limited today, so he may start, but only in a limited capacity. You know, you don't heal in 2 days, 3 days, 3 days, whatever. Anyway, Anthony Richardson was a full participant today, but Will Levis has been a full participant for 2 days, and I'm questioning whether he should start if he has any kind of injury. So I'm sure Colts fans feel the same way. More than comfortable with Joe Flacco. It's not that he's a great quarterback, but he is a great backup. He can be a serviceable guy for a game. So I can totally understand them thinking the same way I do in let your quarterback heal, get his mind right. Maybe they're not thinking the same way I do because they haven't had the same issues we have. But the point is, if he's hurt a little bit, I don't want him to play. I think I've already said that, but that's the point. Moving on. Hydrate. Bold predictions. I hate this part. I honestly do. If I didn't get so many requests to do this, I don't know that I would do this on every pre-show. I hate doing bold predictions and score predictions because I'm usually not right. Although I was last week on the score for them, not us, but still worked out in our favor. Anyway, 2 receivers are going to have more than 75 yards in this game. I know that doesn't sound like a really bold prediction, but for our team it is. We've done well to get 1 receiver over 75 yards this season, so I'd really love it if we got 2. I'd love it even more if it was Will Levis at the helm getting those yards, but we'll see. As far as the defense goes, they are going to hold the Colts to about 165 yards total offense, and that is a bold prediction because the Colts offense isn't that bad. It's definitely not as depleted as the defense is, even though 2 star players are on the injury report. Both might not even play. So, you know, maybe a little depleted, but not as depleted as you think. Score prediction. I kind of went, again, I hate this, but I went crazy with it and figure what the hell. 35-18, Titans. 31 points wasn't enough for me. I want 35 this time. Levis with 125 plus rating. Man, that is a bold prediction. And I would you know what? I don't know exactly what I would do. You know what? If that happens, Michael, if Levis gets 125 plus rating, I'm gonna have you on a show. If you want to do it, we'll do a little segment where you can pop in, say something hilarious because you always got something funny to say, and maybe something thoughtful. And yeah, if that's the way it works out, then I'm gonna do that for sure. Anyway, I know my show isn't as long as it normally is, but with one guy talking, it's twice as hard. So I have to come up with twice as much content, and I'm just not capable of doing it with the work weeks that I have. But glad to be back. Glad to be doing the shows again. 2 shows every week for the rest of the season. Thursday night, we do the pregame show like we did tonight. Monday night, we do the full reaction show, I guess you want to call it, post-game show. There we go. The reaction show, the instant reaction show, is coming on after the game on Sunday. Link says he'll be here, so we'll have Link back for the instant reaction to the Colts game. I will be at the Colts game, so I'm not sure how the instant reaction show is going to work, but we'll figure it out. And as always, thank you so much for hanging around. Again, like and subscribe. YouTube's where we want you to check us out. You can follow us anywhere you get your social media. We're on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X, whatever you want to call it. And but on YouTube, you get exclusive things like little tidbits by me, or different videos that you don't get on other social medias. So yeah, again, thank you for hanging out with me. I'm really excited to go to the Colts game. I feel like it's a huge game for us. We have to win. So tighten up. And until next time, tighten up. Peace out.